Special event alert.
All right, I got locked down in the portals because I was 6 months pregnant, which is 3 for Space Force Space excuse number 2 for being late for Changeover, your weekly space news and variety show. I'm your host, Marty Smith, and I'm joined by Mr. History, Eric Perrott.
Good evening, folks. Good evening.
Our man in the closet, Jake Wall.
Good to see you guys, man.
And our very own Miss San Angelo, Anna Mondragon.
Go, Goodfellow.
We're here to bring you the latest headlines and updates pertinent to all Guardians and to the Earthbound branches as well. So take your seats, get informed, and have a laugh as we present Late for Changeover. Well, that
What's
was
up, man?
disjointed, but that might have been one of the better ones.
It was good.
Yeah,
I never
let it play
realized
from
that they
the
would.
beginning.
Well, no, because then the music gets all effed up.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's funny. The other day, guys. Sorry. I got to say, I got an instant message on Facebook. You know that little instant messaging tool that they got?
Yeah.
And it's from an old mentor of mine, good friend. You know, he's retired now, and it's got a picture of us. It's got a picture of us, the 3 of us, attached to it, and he goes, "What the hell is this nonsense?" I was like,
What were you doing?
it was just a picture of us, you know, on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
What
So
the
he
hell is
found
this
it,
nonsense? And I go, okay.
Nice.
What do you say to that? Well, it's fun nonsense, and we're just doing a lot of nonsense.
Well,
you know?
yeah. I mean,
Just
I
a
do
BS
appreciate it.
session.
It is just a BS session. It's kind of
We
a.
don't get paid for
The
it.
involvement.
I know you don't get paid for it, but it's coming. The band's going to make it, Jake. The band.
Oh, we don't need to get paid for it. We do enough BSing at work.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
get paid for it.
That's true. I like being able to say stuff here that I can't say at work.
Well,
Ooh.
You
I
know?
like it.
Speaking of work, today at the Buckley Mission Control Station, I was going out to get. I have a team member who still hasn't got his badge adjudicated, so he has to be escorted in. So he called. I walked up to the lobby, and the first thing I see are 6 ladies in cheerleader skirts, and I'm like,
What?
"Whoa,
Hey now.
What's going on here?
yeah!" With the white boots
Nice.
on, and but they were the cheerleader, like the camouflage cheerleader ones, the green, right?
Yeah.
And so then you see a bunch of men standing around, and they're all in like Bronco camouflage hoodies.
Oh,
And so it's like-
you had some
Were they
Bronco
really tall?
boys.
Well, the guys were, yeah, right. The girls were not as tall as you would think they would
They
be.
don't have to be.
No, I guess not. But because they always film that camera angle like from down up, and you're just like, whoa, look at this Amazon. And you come out and she's like, she's 5'2". So my guy was like, are we going to get back in the
Like
work?
this
I was
one.
like, hold on, dude. Just hold on. Let's hear what this briefing is. So he's getting a briefing. They're getting a briefing on DSP, and I'm just mesmerized by the cheerleaders. And I look
What?
all the way down the line, and there is Hall of Famer Terrell Davis.
Oh,
Ooh.
And I was like,
team.
That's a
whoa.
good one.
And then I moved, and we're standing right next to him, a big 6, what is he, 6'4", 6'5", was Hall of Famer Steve Atwater.
Oh, the big hitter from the corner.
And
Man.
and this colonel's just putting him to sleep with this brief. And I was like, God, be more exciting, dude. Anyway, so he's still tugging at me. He's like, hey, we got to get in. I was like, I just want to see how this briefing goes. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's how it's going.
So
For the briefing, of course.
yeah, the colonel wraps up and he's like, let's go all over here and take a picture. I was like, ooh, maybe I can bomb this picture. But as they're walking by, I walk up to Terrell Davis and extend my hand. I was like, hey, thanks for playing for Denver. I've watched you for years. I loved your career. And I shook Steve Atwater's hand, and I was like, you know,
That's
you
cool.
brought us a lot of joy here in Denver. I appreciate it. And they're like, hey, thank you, son. And they pushed me out of the way, and they went over and took a picture. So,
I have a
Should
little
we-
miniature Denver helmet with Atwater's signature on it.
oh, man.
I got one of those.
Should have
mean, I
been
knew
like,
that
get your
guy.
weak hands out of here. Get your weak hands out.
Oh my
Shaking that
goodness.
thing.
But yeah, I started the day off by shaking 2 Hall of Famers' hands. I was like, wow, I
That's
didn't
a good
expect
day.
that.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
That's a good day.
Now, have you guys in your careers, have you ever run across any USO celebs or escorted anybody? Or Eric,
Escort.
let's take Eric first.
I'm
Escort.
so excited.
And
Of course I
can't
did,
hide
man.
it.
So in the Philippines, we have this thing called Happening on the Green. It was the hog.
Oh,
And two of my guys and me got to
the
provide
nickname was the Hog.
the hog, the Happening on the Green.
Oh,
And we got to escort and
Yeah.
provide security for Mr. Billy Joe.
What?
Billy Joel, the
Yes.
piano
The
man.
one, the
piano man was playing in the Philippines, man. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, what
He was
year
very
that?
cool.
That's actually really
well, I was
really
there.
cool.
89 to 91.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
God
In the
bless.
prime. In the prime.
Yeah.
Was
That
he
was a
still
good
with?
time.
Was he still with Christy Brinkley, or was he
At the
broke up by
time,
that
but she
Oh.
wasn't there.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wasn't there. I don't
Aw.
recall her being there.
That
He was
uptown.
on the U.S. war too.
Anna's more upset about. Oh, come on.
Bummer, dude.
He was really cool though, down to earth, real easy to talk to. Yeah, it was.
And
good.
he was
That's pretty
was that a USO thing?
Yeah,
Oh, nice, man.
yep.
Nice.
Traveling the Pacific. It was cool.
Very cool.
Anna, do you have any brushes with celebrity?
I do.
Oh, that was
So
a good.
I met this guy.
Some
It was
rando.
Vice
Some random
President
guy.
Pence.
Oh, Mr. Pence. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Hey, very cool.
Look at
Yeah.
you.
That was cool.
That
That was
is
my
pretty
only
cool.
celeb.
Where was that?
Big one.
A Shrever.
Oh, of course, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Shrever.
Nice.
That's a good one.
All right, Jake, bring
Did-
us home.
All I got was those BMX riders that showed up to the alley deed, man.
That and Three
That's
Doors
it.
Down.
Well, I think it was 3 doors down. I don't remember. Might have been three drinks in on the day.
You're all hopped up on your max limit.
Exactly. Admiral Nelson and kiwi juice.
Trying to finish that last one at 11:45 at night,
Yeah.
so you could start the
Yeah.
next day one.
Yeah.
That's right.
The
Very
Hooch.
cool.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I never,
It was
when I was
impressive.
in the army, I never get to see anybody because they're all like, "Oh, send the lower enlisted," right? But you watch. If
you
you
know
watch,
what though? It's not I mean, it might be celebrity.
The old mind
When-
check came back.
Yeah.
Mind check.
When I was in Kuwait, we were eating lunch at the chow hall,
Yeah.
and some of the remaining Tuskegee airmen came down and sat.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's cool.
Oh,
And
that's
I was
big.
like, "Who are these guys?" And then they had their jackets. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh man, that's
Look
very,
at
That's
this.
very
yeah,
cool.
Shit.
Yeah,
Some
Did you get to
real
talk to them,
heroes.
or?
yeah. We were just sitting there talking, eating lunch at the chow hall. We were like, "All right."
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's still probably better than what they got. you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
Was it Dino Nugget Day?
No,
Dino
I wish.
Okay.
My favorite line from Dino Nugget Day was a random guy at Shrever. He goes, 2 servings of Dino Nuggets, carnivores only, please. And the chow hall lady's like, get the fuck out, get out of here. Take your Dino Nuggets.
That's
awesome.
Delicious.
It's pretty good.
Carnivores only.
Before we get into the news, big game between, Air Force has one
Coming
win,
for
right?
you, Jake Wall.
And
Oh,
Oregon
coming
State
for you,
has
brother.
one win. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Air Force, Oregon State this weekend.
1-0
so-
versus 1-0.
Oh no, we got 2 wins now, brother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got 2.
We
Shit.
All right,
beat
all right.
San Jose.
Oh, you did this
Whoa.
weekend. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
All right.
Yeah, we just
All
won.
Was
right.
that the Sea
we got
Slugs?
Let me tell you who it
Cucumbers?
was actually. Air Force
Hey,
football. Fresno State.
Oh,
That's close.
Oh,
30
Both in
28,
California. It's close.
2-0, baby. 2-0. We're coming for the
Fresno's
bees.
not even a state. At least Oregon is
no.
a state.
We're coming for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Fresno
I know. That's
and
why
San
I'm
Jose.
so nervous about wearing my gear because I think you never know what it could be.
Who knows, man? They may have a heightened sense of security since
Yeah, but it's
the
Air
Army
Force. We're not
painted
going to
Chair
mob
Force
you.
in their stadium.
Oh, that was
It's actually
so funny.
really cool.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's
I know
what's
we
funny
missed
is
you last
all of
weekend.
us are Air Force and we're like, oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Good job,
Got
guys.
us good.
Good job.
Had to be Army.
Yep.
I've always said I hate them both because they get commissioned officers and then they're just pains in the asses. So, because that's all he's known for. It's like, oh, is he a good operator? It's like, he used to play football.
Academy.
And they're like, that's what his career is going to be. He used to play football.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Great. Good job, sir.
Ring wearer.
So let's get to the news. Let's a big election last week, right?
Oh, the red wave.
But we'll get to that. I don't want to start with that. I want to start with that. We actually got
pull it back.
Many space stories today. So, Boeing's year has just not been good, right? And then you get to this story from the Los Angeles Times saying that Boeing is looking to jettison the space business.
That's because their duct tape can't hold in a window, man. It's terrible.
It's not. So,
they're having a hard time in this atmosphere, let alone outside of it.
Yeah, they are having a hard time. So, with its manufacturing practices under scrutiny, its machinists on strike, and losses piling up, Boeing is said to be considering selling parts of its fabled space business. Ooh. But few industry analysts think Boeing will put its extensive El Segundo satellite operations on the table. So they'll keep making satellites, but they're going to sell all this other stuff.
It's like they're deflating.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got to do something here. Hold on. Let me adjust the picture. Sorry. But they got to do something because they're in trouble. New Boeing chief executive Kelly Ortberg said during a recent earnings call that the aerospace giant was considering shedding assets outside of the company's core commercial aviation and defense businesses, adding that Boeing was better off, quote, doing less and doing it better than doing more and not doing it well, end quote.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Before you're fired, get better at what you do.
I mean, my God, everything. I mean, you had the bad planes, you had the strike, you had the bad Starliner.
The launch, yeah.
So that could mean that Boeing sees no future for its troubled Starliner spacecraft, which was developed to service the ISS. But any asset sale is not expected to encompass Boeing's satellite manufacturing operations in El Segundo. Shedding parts of its space business would be a landmark decision for Boeing, which has deep ties to the space program in Southern California, where it has built rockets, the X-37 space plane, which is up in orbit right now. Remember the guys all in the, no contamination suits? Remember that we did that story? So that's up there. How'd you like to be driving a car and you're like, hey, your car business just went out of business? They're like, no parts, and they're like, no more parts.
All you best space guys need jobs.
You know, we had a Saturn when Saturn went under, and I was like, hopefully they got a year's worth of parts so I can pay this thing off and get another car. How do you think are they just going to put a for sale sign on Starliner and put it out in the front yard? And they're like, free, just take it.
You're going to donate it to the Space Foundation.
Could be.
No, I don't know.
You know, it's funny. If they do try to sell that, there could be a conflict of interest with the company, whichever company decides to take a look at it. Because if you start creating a one-sided business model, we're all space between, let's say, Raytheon and Boeing tried, and they're starting to frickin' grab all the contracts. A lot of times the government will stop that.
Yeah.
They'll come in and say, no.
Well, they got to fix the window at least, right? So,
Flex Seal.
Flex Seal. Yeah. That's the Russians. Who can't stop the air leak. This who is this person? Ortberg. Oh, the new CEO. Ortberg's comments came amid manufacturing concerns over its key 737 commercial jet program and a machinist strike that is estimated to be costing $50 million a day.
Oh,
man.
Wow.
So Boeing raised $21 billion in a stock sale this week to shore up its balance sheet. Boeing also has been the target of multiple whistleblower lawsuits that have alleged lax safety and manufacturing practices that resulted in quality control issues.
So that's Boeing for you.
That's what they may be considering. also seen as expendable is Boeing's participation in the United Launch Alliance, a joint venture formed with Lockheed Martin in 2006. So ULA might be out a partner.
You know, need to be.
ULA, it says, is based in Denver. I didn't know that. I had
That's
no
okay.
idea ULA was
Elon
based
Musk
in
will
Denver.
just swoop them in. Let's
Well,
go,
somebody's
ULA.
going to.
Why would he need to?
Why not?
Who'd you
'Cause
say
he's
was going to swoop it in?
Elon Musk.
Elon.
No, they said
one of
who
them
does
losers.
Blue Origin? Who is that? Bezos?
Bezos.
They said
Bezos.
Bezos might be a buyer.
Oh.
So yeah.
Elon's doing better than them without him.
Well,
Which is
that's
another-
part of the reason, because they gave, because Boeing and SpaceX were both given those grants, and SpaceX is the only one who's making it work. So
Who's the guy that does Virgin? He might be interested too, right?
oh yeah, Branson. Yeah, but he
Branson.
just does the suborbital joyrides, man.
He's just having fun.
Yeah, he's just like, screw
He's
this.
a crazy guy.
I know. He still looks like he's a
Stuff up the
60s
plate.
hippie. So
I know.
so maybe the Boeing Christmas party might not be quite as robust this year. So good luck, Boeing. But that might be the smartest thing, because aviation, you can't take those hits in aviation.
No, they're failing miserably,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. All right, this next story is actually 3 stories. So I combined 3 stories for this next one. With the results of the election last week and a Trump administration on the way in. Space.com wonders what a second Trump administration could mean for NASA and space exploration. So this is the first story, but there's 2 other ones that go along with it. Or I'm making them go along with it. So how about that?
No.
President-elect Trump's return to the White House next January will likely bring big changes to NASA's Artemis program and a renewed sense of urgency to land a crew on the moon, in part to keep up with China's ambitions for a moon landing by 2030. Space policy experts said they also expect Elon Musk, now this is the big consideration, Elon Musk, Trump's wealthiest supporter, to soon enjoy a far friendlier regulatory environment that would benefit his 6 companies, including SpaceX and Starlink. That's one thing I never considered, and I'm like, maybe
They're already
Elon's
talking
playing
about the
4D
good old boy
chess.
politics.
Yeah.
Good old boy politics.
The New York Times reported last week that Musk has already asked Trump to hire employees from SpaceX as top government officials, including at the Defense Department, which is one of the company's biggest customers. Among other benefits, such a move could position Musk to more directly weigh in on regulatory issues regarding Starship, a transformative reusable rocket that's being developed by SpaceX. Musk has repeatedly expressed frustration with the regulatory environment that SpaceX and other launch providers must navigate. Now, that's probably true. Anything in the government is going to be heavily regulated. I mean, they already grounded him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I fixed it over the weekend. It's good to go. And they're like, no. We need to keep you on the ground for 3 more weeks until we file the paperwork, Trump's first term notably included initiation of the Artemis program to return humans to the moon, championed by Vice President Mike Pence as the chair of the National Space Council and space policy expert Scott Pace as executive secretary. Trump himself spearheaded the establishment of the U.S. Space Force, the first new military service created since 1947, which he claimed is one of his proudest accomplishments of his first term in office. So, that's big nepotism if Elon gets in there and is like, okay, here we go. Here we go.
Are they going to have like a space UFC fight? I mean, that Dana White is like his second or first, whatever.
It'll be the last thing. It'll be the last thing they do on the ISS, and they're like, "Okay, you guys fight. We're going to open up this leak over here, and whoever wins
gets to go home.
The oxygen mask." So have at it.
I do not understand it. So deregulatory, right?
Yeah.
Possible. More ways to move things,
right?
And let's make the guy Elon Musk, who wants none of it, in charge of it all.
Well, he just wants all the reins taken off of his stuff,
That's what I mean.
So,
No conflict of interest there. Whoa.
well, I
Yep.
can't say it might not be a bad thing, because
I agree.
if he's the only one going to the moon, it's like
But you're not. Well, Boeing's not. We already figured that out.
We know Boeing's not going to the moon.
Oh my
Talk
goodness.
among yourselves while I let my dog in.
China's already landed on the moon multiple times in the last 5 years.
Yeah, aren't they mining
So-
the moon too?
They're doing some crazy stuff, like landing on the moon and then sending a probe back and loitering places and then coming all the way back.
You see the picture of those guys who just went, or the Chinese guys who just went, what are they called? Taikonauts or whatever they are,
Yeah.
who went up to their space station. Nice and clean up there. Not like duct tape and Flex Seal all over everything. Everything's nice and clean. So
It looks like an Apple store.
it does. Yeah.
What are they mining on the moon, though? What are they mining on the moon?
Oh, everything.
Spirit,
All those beautiful minerals.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
minerals that actually produce better fiber.
Right.
For
Yeah,
fiber
I've heard that too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
So they're
I mean, I'm sure we physically couldn't change the weight of the moon. Well, eventually. But that changing the weight of the moon might be problematic for life on Earth too.
well. Remember, this is the same country that built islands in the ocean.
Yeah. Oh,
They built their own island
Because the tides will change.
so they could extend their shoreline.
If the
So they
moon has
did
problems.
that. And they're like, what can we do on the moon? You know.
Ooh.
All
Or
right.
we use it as a jump off point to get asteroids and mine asteroids.
yeah, and then
I could see that.
shoot them down at the U.S. Yeah.
Well,
Put some
that's-
rockets on them and just.
Yeah.
All right. Second story.
No conspiracy
I found.
here.
Sounds so
I like it.
crazy.
I like it.
Maybe crazy like a fox. Crazy like a fox.
What's the fox say?
I was trying to say it in Chinese, but I couldn't.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Frox. What's just frox?
All
All right, the next story I found is
It is the
related-
holidays.
It's related.
It is.
Rah, 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 rah. It's related to Trump as well. Space National Guard could become a reality.
Oh
He
my
talked
goodness.
about it in August, right? He didn't say anything about the reserves, but he did say we need a Space National Guard. So from military.com, President Donald Trump's election win likely means the creation of a Space National Guard under his administration after he made creating the new reserve force a notable promise during his campaign. Trump said during a National Guard Association in the United States conference in August that, quote, as president, I will sign historic legislation creating a Space National Guard. So he's all in. So all you guard guys who were thinking of jumping, don't.
Hang
yet.
on.
The idea has been strongly opposed by the Air Force, Space Force, and President Joe Biden's administration, but it has been heavily pushed by bipartisan groups of lawmakers and National Guard lobbyists.
I have the power.
He's still got to get it through Congress, but he's got a Republican-controlled Congress now.
I like how they're opposing it. Strongly opposed, strongly opposed. What are your alternatives?
Yeah, right. I'm with
Make
you.
some suggestions. I've heard we've been speculating about this for what, almost 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've talked
because
about it
they
a
have
lot.
no
more.
plan for this.
There's
reserve.
nothing.
This part-time, full-time thing sounds exactly like the reserves.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Dude, but
don't
you're
say
gonna-
reserves.
You're going to drop, but the requirements
Yeah,
for those
it's dumb.
part-time people, you couldn't
Yeah.
have a
And they're gonna
full-time
kick-
job.
And the only option to those guard guys are what? Retrain or go to the active duty. And it's like, that's not what guard is all about, man.
Nope.
Yeah.
How
Not
many,
to mention the governors are like, you can't take our guard away. That's my guys, right?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Anna?
how many Space National Guardsmen are there?
There's not many. There's not too many. I think there's more reservists than there are guards. But I don't know. Maybe they're going to do it. I mean, at all the launch sites, that's a perfect place for guard.
Yeah.
You know, they come out and do launch or range duties or something like that. But I don't know. That would be
a mission.
if only we had a computer to look that up. If only I had
Yeah,
a
it seems
team
like a lot of
of
work.
researchers.
They have 1,000 airmen,
Okay,
which is
there we go.
11% of the Space Force professionals.
11%. That's
They have
no,
14
that's more than I
units
thought.
across 7 states.
It's bigger than
All
I
right.
thought, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know how he's going to
Is
do
the
it.
1,000 worth setting up its own
Command.
Does the Marine Corps have a guard?
They have reserves. I
I
don't
don't
think
know
they
if
have
they've
guard.
got guard. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly Google it. But
I don't know if Navy has guard either. So I think that
Yeah,
whole branch
well, they-
just has reserves.
They have
I don't think they have
reserve, yeah.
National Guard. So so anyway, I don't know how he's going to do it. He's got to get it through Congress, but hell, he did Space Force. He got that through.
Yeah,
So-
you did.
Yeah. At me shaking my head. What the fuck, man? Come on.
All right, now this one I just saw today, and this story is from military.com as well. Look at this one. Colorado could use U.S. Space Command.
Lose it, huh?
Lose it.
Trump wants
Yeah.
to move it to Alabama.
Alabama.
Not to Greenbow, but to Redstone. So President-elect Donald Trump is likely to overturn a decision to permanently place U.S. Space Command in Colorado and move it to Alabama, where Trump originally wanted it. During his first week in office, the House Armed Services Committee chairman said Monday. On July 31st, 2023, President Joe Biden's administration announced that Space Command would keep its headquarters at Pete, reversing Trump's announcement in 2021, which would have moved it to Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville. Representative Mike Rogers, Republican from Alabama, told a mobile Alabama radio station on Monday that Trump had vowed to reverse the decision on the campaign trail and said the president-elect will make good on that promise in short order.
I wonder why. Jobs, job performance, job development.
Senator Lamborn's got to be losing his mind.
Because the
I
state
don't-
of Colorado is still blue.
I don't
I know, Eric,
know.
that you missed this last Snowmageddon, but decentralization is a smart move,
That's true.
right?
is.
We've
It's true.
ran into this issue multiple times.
space.
I mean, for every branch, we don't have all assets in one location.
Fair.
Yeah.
Space Force
that's a
has
good point.
90% of their assets
Yeah.
here in Colorado or Colorado Springs, even.
Right.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know?
good point. I never even thought of that, though.
Well,
I mean, the
there was-
infrastructure is already here and all that bull crap.
There was
but
supposedly a GAO report that they did that showed it was actually better in Huntsville, but then they came out and they disputed it and they fought back and forth, and then there's accusations that Colorado's blue, so I want to move it to a red state. So there's those accusations as well.
Well, and
And
the
then-
state of Alabama could probably use a little more enhancement in jobs. I'm sure that would create
Fair.
a number of
Hun-
jobs.
Yeah.
Huntsville's got
Yeah.
a big space community, though. Too.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I've
So-
gotten
Missile
job
defense is there,
offers from
right?
Huntsville before, so.
Yeah.
But it's Huntsville.
It's green.
It is
You
green.
could drive
That's
from
true.
Chattanooga.
Yeah, that's true. So it's going to be interesting next year. Maybe full of news stories. That'll help this podcast out immensely. Help this podcaster out immensely.
Immensely.
All right. So let's close with this. And I'm curious because they had all this testimony earlier this year. What do you guys think of the whole UFO thing? Right?
I believe.
Or are you a believer?
I'm a believer.
Or the new name, which just can't make it stick. Even the article I read couldn't use this new name. UAPs, which is unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Come
so
on.
dumb.
I don't know why we do that. It's
I know,
retarded.
it's so dumb. So this story is from the Daily Mail. So whatever you think about, I mean, I did have questions when like the pilots were coming out and they're saying, we're actually seeing something. And they're doing it to Congress. And I'm like, I don't know where they're going with this testimony.
Yeah.
I don't know what the end game
What's it going to prove?
Yeah, right. But we always think of this guy. Well, this admiral maybe will change your mind. So from the Daily Mail, a Navy admiral is going to testify to Congress about underwater UFOs. Yeah, baby.
Nice.
So, a retired Rear Admiral who served as the Navy's head oceanographer will testify to Congress about the risks of UFOs that appear to traverse Earth's seas with impunity, he says.
Oh,
Come
how
on,
dare they?
man.
I
Wow.
know.
That's a big
Impunity.
word. The abyss. It's the abyss happening.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the movie, The Abyss? That
Mhm.
was Aliens?
Oh, yeah,
I
that
guess
was
it
Abyss.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Wasn't it Ed, somebody that
Oh,
lead
Ed Harris. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ed Harris. That's right.
Sheeran.
What?
That
Nope.
was way off.
Rear Admiral Tim Galladay. Why do I get these names?
Golly, some shit.
Galladay. We're going to call him Galladay. Rear Admiral Tim Galladay, retired, has attested publicly in the past to an interesting correlation where we see so many potential interactions of UAP or UFOs and nuclear ships, but has never before discussed the issue under oath. Increasingly, Rear Admiral Galladay has also given voice to growing concern among military officials that these strange apparent craft possess capabilities beyond our current understanding of science, technology, as well as engineering. He says we need to research these more, get a better understanding of them, both for the national security implications as well as just the science. So, but despite Rear Admiral Galladay's openness on the once fringe topic of UFOs, the substance of what he plans to reveal on Wednesday before the House Oversight Committee's latest public UAP hearing remains a mystery. The naval oceanographer did, however, reveal two startling UFO encounters on Monday, as reported to him by Navy personnel. One happened in the 1980s. 1980s. Wow. He says a UFO had an encounter with a U.S. sub with a bizarre underwater object in the 1980s, which stopped on a dime while speeding deep under the Atlantic Ocean.
Show me. Show me.
It had all the signatures
They've shown
of a
you
Russian
with the Tic Tac.
torpedo.
Remember the Tic Tac videos?
All right. It wasn't a Tic Tac. It was a UFO.
That's what it was
I-
called.
It would go like this.
am gone.
Yeah, that aircraft was moving fast, and then all of a sudden it was like,
Is one encounter, he says, a U.S. nuclear submarine was followed. They thought they were getting a torpedo shot at them, but then the torpedo swung around behind them and followed them, and then veered off and suddenly disappeared. You know,
It was awkward.
and that sounds so much like the old Bigfoot stories. Of like he was there, and then suddenly he just ran off. And I'm like,
He was gone.
he
was
was
gone.
just gone. Yeah, he's just gone.
Aquaman's ship was pretty fast like that too when
Yeah,
they're
it is.
maneuvering.
Another one, you naysayer, Eric, was
Yeah.
a whole carrier group saw a UAP in the middle, right above the water.
Yeah.
Right? And it
And
was supposedly
mermaids and big flying freaking
Mermaids?
dragon fishes
Yep.
What?
and the
Hi, lady
sirens
boys.
that bring
The
the ships
difference
to wreck
all
on
of
the
them mythical
boats.
creatures.
the mermaids don't care about the nuclear powered ships that these UFOs seem to care about. So that's what he's going to testify about. So
Hocus
now,
pocus.
here's what Rear Admiral
Yeah.
Galladay noted.
Shoulders still.
Hocus pocus. Don't look.
He was there and then he was gone.
Oh,
Oh,
my goodness.
Eric, so
Rear Admiral Galladay noted that several of the most persuasive witness accounts that he has heard about are tied up with the classified sensitivities of America's nuclear submarine fleet. He said, I've heard there's others, but submarine information operations are so highly classified
Yeah.
with non-disclosure agreements signed by everybody on the force that they're hard to come out and find.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
see? So they're out
silent
there.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're out there, but they are forbidden to speak of it. Right?
Yeah,
They're
because
all
where
on
they
Adderall.
see him.
So anyway,
in that area.
he's testifying tomorrow at the UAP hearing hosted by the House Oversight. Wait, we have a House Oversight for UFOs?
Yes.
So I don't understand. We have so much technology to detect,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Show me. And don't show me a picture, 500 miles away that's a blink of light. Show me.
I'm with
Introduce
you.
me to an alien.
I'm
not
with
buying
you.
it.
Wouldn't that like declassify whatever took the picture or like
Yeah, that's
sensed
right.
it?
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
See?
I
It
don't
would
care.
reveal our
Well,
capabilities
don't-
how'd
and
you figure that
limitations.
out? What did you
Hey,
see?
Then don't tell me that it exists.
You can't reveal methods and sources, man. Can't
Then
reveal
don't tell me
methods
it
and sources.
exists. Why come out and tell me they
I'm
exist?
telling you, when I was working mids, and I would drive, or it wasn't mids, it was like swings, and I was driving back, and you'd get
Dude,
coast to
late night,
coast,
coast
to coast, baby.
I loved that show.
Did you ever hear Coast to Coast Radio?
I
I don't know who the guy was. I can't remember his name. He's
Man.
fairly famous for doing this radio show, but
That
it
is a
was
good one.
was midnight on into the wee hours in the morning, and he had every crazy conspiracy theorist person call in, and he would let them go. He would let them say whatever they wanted, right?
It was Woody
And-
Harrelson,
So
like
fun.
he did in the freaking ending of that movie where they were going to end. The world was ending. Remember? And he's in his trailer as their volcanoes are erupting and stuff. It was Woody Harrelson, man. I'm telling you, of Coast to Coast Radio.
Anyway, it was one of the more entertaining things to hear these guys
He didn't believe it.
craziness, right? The best one I ever heard was this guy called up and said his theory was UFOs, not the underwater ones. He didn't address those. He just addressed the ones in the sky. But he said UFOs were actually us time traveling from the future, trying not to be seen so we don't interrupt history.
Now there's an
Oh.
And I was
explanation,
like,
huh?
that is so good.
I
Back
get
to
that.
Future?
That
What was
That's
that
why
other
they gotta.
movie
That's why they gotta stay hidden, so
That's
we don't
kinda
interrupt
cool.
the timeline. And I was
with
like,
Matthew
that's pretty
McConaughey? What was
good,
that
man.
movie?
Oh,
Interstellar.
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 Yeah.
yeah.
That movie was. I hated that movie. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I
Which
like
is-
the idea of time shifting now.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
the
right, right. I
explanation.
did that
was
I
too.
like the explanation.
But you
But
look at the
it-
James Webb, like those pictures off the James Webb, and you're looking at those dots, and they're clear galaxies right now.
Right, and that's
And you're like,
100 years old or whatever, however old that
Yeah.
light
There's
is.
got to
That's
be
crazy.
other life
Yeah.
forms out there. There has
Why?
to.
Why?
Oh,
Why?
this,
oh,
it's
oh.
pretty arrogant, honestly.
No. No.
What are you talking
I'm just
about? All
saying,
those other galaxies?
Yeah.
why does there
Every
have?
other galaxy.
Why can't there just be us?
Just statistics,
This doesn't make
honestly. Like
sense.
the odds of it,
Does seem
that
like
many
it.
galaxies and that
Yeah.
many opportunities for life, and we're the only dumbasses that
Well-
are screwing everything up.
Let's flip it, right? Let's say if we could travel to a populated planet,
Yeah,
would we be the type to go, "Oh, let's get out of here quick. Let's not let them see us. Let's
No.
stay hidden."
oh no, we'd be
We'll be
diddling
like,
all
"Hey,
kinds of
we're
people.
from
Here's our
Earth."
flag. We're here to hey, let's
Diddling.
party. Oh yeah.
So
man.
why does every alien species is like skittish? You got
No,
the technology.
It's
to get
not
here.
skittish, Marty.
They're
They were
skittish.
shredding cows in the 70s and 80s.
That's true. Remember
Making
the crop stuff?
One of my crop circles, one of
Yeah,
my
that's
favorite
right.
T-shirts is an alien abducting a guy, and it said, "Get in, dummy. We're doing butt stuff." I'm like, it's great. We're like, all right.
It's the U.S. Federation of Planets saying that Earth is not up
My-
to their speed yet.
My theory
I'm
is,
telling you, yeah, right. right.
think about it. We knew light existed. We knew all those other
Yeah,
things existed, right? All the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
waveforms existed. Had theories of them,
right.
but we couldn't ever measure any of them.
yeah,
How stupid are we now in not knowing that there's more waveforms out there, not being able to see different waveforms, there's
Yeah.
spectrums out there that we can't even imagine.
well,
So-
there you're right. There is an arrogance that's like, nope, we know it all. There's
Yeah,
nobody-
exactly. Like science can't
feeling
even
pretty
figure
arrogant.
out how to get rid of plastic or cancer. So,
Well, let's
I mean-
just look what science did to us for COVID.
well, exactly. You got to
And that was
trust it.
just
Don't
a
worry about it.
flu.
You just don't trust it.
Maybe they're here amongst us, like Men in Black.
That could
Yeah.
be. That's probably more believable because that's something we would do. We would infiltrate another person's or another planet's population, and then send reports back. That sounds more like what we
Oh,
would do.
maybe all the butt stuff abductions is just
Oh.
prototypes For their human form.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
the movie with the wrestler, and you'd put on the goggles and you'd see the alien faces. What was his? Oh, Roddy Piper. Remember he made a movie? Roddy Piper. He puts on his glasses and he sees aliens walking around. And
I've
nobody
never seen
believes him.
this.
You were going
So you're saying there's other spectrums
man.
that he couldn't see?
Telling you.
Yep.
Roddy Piper.
Well,
might have
as
been
much as I'd love to fill up the rest of this hour with UAP talk, I have finally taken Jake's suggestion and turned it into a game. So you guys ready to compete
Yeah.
with one another? We are going to play the
Who's the
Operation
judge?
Name game. I'm the judge on it
Okay.
because I know all the
yay.
answers.
I'm the
So,
judge.
I am your judge.
Don't question
So,
his authority.
I am going
That's all it's high.
to. I'm going to give you real life military operations. I'm going to describe them, and then I'm going to give you 3 choices. Only one is correct.
Oh.
All
I'm
right.
gonna lose.
Oh, yeah.
That's the spirit.
That's normal. That's normal for us.
Way to be that undaunting. Yeah, I love that. So
Mr. History or Jake's gonna win.
I think Eric
Come on
might
now.
actually know
Let's go.
one of these
Let's
names
go.
because I think you did a history.
That's
So Eric might know one because as I was putting it together, I was like, damn it, I think Eric knows that. But we'll see if he can
Maybe.
remember. We'll
Hey,
see
there's
if
no
he can
cheating.
remember.
Peter Pansing.
no cheater.
All right, you ready? I'm going to go
Oh, yeah.
fast so you can't search. All right.
Oh,
The
we
first one, this 1943 operation was the Allied invasion of the island of New Guinea in the Solomon Islands. Was it A, Operation Foothold, B, Operation Nailbiter, or C, Operation Toenails?
Foothold.
All right, Anna's going with A. Remember, keep your own score. I have no crew here. Yeah, keep your own score.
Operation Toenail sounds way too stupid.
They all sound stupid.
Operation Foothold, I could see. So I'm going to go with
I could
Anna,
see
too.
that.
I'm going to go Foothold.
Oh, no, I'm going C. Toenail all the way.
Toenail.
Anna, what did you go? Did you go?
She
I
went
did
A.
Foothold.
Okay, so 2 A's and 1 C. And the answer is Operation Toenail.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Jay.
I figured it had to be so bad that it would
That's
be right.
disgusting.
Oh,
I know, that's gross. Huh? Doesn't make any sense, but it does throw the enemy off.
that's
So,
true.
Yep.
all right, number 2. This 1948 operation was the formal name for the Berlin airlift. Do you remember the history of the Berlin airlift?
Oh,
Was
happened in
it?
Germany.
A,
It was
Operation
NRPFE.
Mana. B,
Oh,
Operation
yes, B.
Vittles.
B.
Or C, Operation Dionysus.
B.
It's B. It's Vittles.
Yep, Vittles.
God bless you guys.
I can't even argue
Operation
against that one.
Vittles.
I knew that one. We talked
Okay, I
about
got
that
one.
one.
All right.
It was
all
in the
right.
PDG, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Damn. Who would have thought you'd remember that?
It was the only section I enjoyed. The rest was all bullshit forms. What are you going to do in this one? What form are you going to fill out? Nah, I don't know.
A.
That's the part that interested me.
Yeah.
What form are you gonna fill
Magic
All
8 ball.
right.
C. Sounds good to
Everyone's
me.
on the board, but Jake has 2. So
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
yes,
yeah,
he does. He
Jake has
won the first one.
Okay, we're only at 2, Anna. It's not hard to keep track of.
You're disputing already.
Already.
This
No.
1976 operation was a mission to chop down a tree in the Korean DMZ.
I know this one
Eric
too.
did this one.
Yeah. Ah.
Was it
Eric,
A,
you have to answer last.
Operation Lumberjack? Was it B, Operation Axe Handle? Or was it C, Operation Paul Bunyan?
Axe handle.
Yeah, B.
B.
Eric?
I'm gonna
Can't
go Paul
remember.
Bunyan. Paul Bunyan.
What?
I can't remember.
He can't remember. Oh, man.
Paul Bunyan.
Oh, fine. I'll go A then.
Operation Paul Bunyan.
Oh
is the
my
correct
goodness,
answer.
Eric.
Bam.
So 2-1-2 as we go down the line. All right, this is
Axe handle
number
sounded better.
4, I think.
Somebody
This
died during that,
1940
though.
Yeah. The cherry tree.
Yeah,
that
1940. Yeah, right. It was that captain they shot.
That's right.
Yeah.
This 1944 plan called for the systematic bombing of German railways.
Oh.
Was it A, Operation Chattanooga Choo Choo? Was it B, Operation Orange Line? Or was it C, Operation Derail?
B.
Oh.
I'm going
Yeah,
with
C.
Orange Line.
Orange Line for Anna.
Sounds like a good one.
You're going C, Jake?
They should have like B&O Railroads or something like that.
Yeah,
Like from
right.
Monopoly.
All right. Well,
Right.
I'll take A then, so we're all covered.
The right answer
Somebody's
is
getting a point.
Operation
No!
Chattanooga Choo Choo. The planners
Was
said
it?
the
Nice.
Germans, they didn't
I
want
got
anything
three,
about
baby.
trains, and the Germans wouldn't know what Chattanooga Choo Choo meant. So that's why they called it
It's
that.
a dance,
Very
right?
cool.
It's a real name. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
dance. Okay, number 5, the 1962 plan to invade Cuba.
I think I know this one too.
Was it A, Operation Banana? Was it B, Operation Ortsack? Or was it C, Operation Cigar?
I'm going to go with B again. Ortsack.
Going with the old Ortsack, huh?
The Ortsack.
You get a good feeling from the Ortsack. I'll go with banana.
I'll go with
Banana.
C. I'm going to go cigar.
And the
Wow,
correct
that's a good
answer
one, too.
is B, Operation
Whoa!
Ortsack.
What is an Ortsack?
If you
I have no
spell it
idea.
backwards, it's Castro.
No, that's dumb.
That's what they said. The planner said it's Castro spelled backwards.
How about
Ortsack.
that shit? I thought it was something dirty.
Anna, you got 2. What do you got?
3, 2, 2. Going down the line.
Eric's got 3. God, don't
Yep.
let Eric win. All right.
So
I
good.
think
So good.
this might be the last one. So this is for a tie or all the money. The 2007 raid to interrupt weapons smuggling in Iraq was called A, Operation Viking Snatch. B,
Nice.
Operation Camel Clutch.
Ah.
Or C, Operation Snapdragon.
These are all code names for vaginas.
Dragon?
Old Viking snatch.
We all thought it. We just didn't say it to you.
Operation
I'll let it fly, my friend.
Operation Bearded Clam was rejected. Right now.
Dragon. That Snapdragon gets me every time.
Oh my god!
You're stupid. I started seeing snapdragon flowers in my head, like the orange.
Very familiar. Very familiar.
Very, very.
All right, Eric, what do you think?
I'm gonna go camel clutch.
Camel Clutch. I like that one. Anna?
I'm going with A.
Viking Snatch.
Yeah, why don't you see it?
Wait. What? Well, I should have made
It
say
sounds
Damn it.
dirty.
I should have made her say it.
Sounds fuzzy.
See, Viking doesn't have anything to do with the desert, though. Man.
It's braided. The Viking braids.
Oh.
Going full Snapdragon on this one.
The correct answer is
Come on.
A.
No way! Unbelievable.
Oh.
Snatch.
We're tiesies.
Pulls one out. Well, that was the last one.
So, yeah, Anna, you tied with Eric.
Tiesy.
Wow.
Ah, Jake. That's
No tiebreaker?
no tiebreaker. I don't have a tie. I only had time to do 6. That was enough.
Well, you did some good ones, man.
Those are
Yeah.
fun, though.
I would have
Yeah,
never
Camel
thought
clutch.
A was a Vikings.
I didn't formally use the
That's
AI,
crazy.
but it helped.
Vikings
It helped a
Snatch.
little bit on a couple of those. So,
Yeah.
all right, Eric,
wow.
let's
That
take
was
us
fun.
home with a military day in history. Shall
All
we?
right. This one is a good one. It's preference for Anna.
You have had an uptick in performance over the last 6 weeks. I think.
But I'll
Well, thank
give
you.
you that, too.
Yeah.
That's
I
100%.
think you'll like this one, but Anna, I think will really like
I think after a couple of years, you're finally coming into your own on this.
it. All right. So
I think
Now
I'm
watch
gonna
it-
do some
seeing how
goodies
poorly
here,
I
Watch it
did, you
throw
were
some
like, oh,
French
Eric can't
tank
do
in
much
there.
worse.
man. In 2 seconds, the massive FA-18 Hornet C went from sitting still to roaring past 160 miles per hour as it launched off the deck of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. It was 2 years into Operation Southern Watch.
Okay.
The U.S.-led effort to enforce no-fly and no-drive zones in Iraq during the aftermath of the 1991 Persian Gulf War. During that time, hundreds of American aircraft have been regularly flying in that dangerous environment.
Yeah.
But one of the Hornets that launched on November 15th, 1994 was different.
Huh?
Can you figure out why it was different? Okay, it didn't go. A woman
Oh,
was
flew
at
it.
the controls, baby. The first woman
Whoa.
combat at the controls. So, U.S. Navy Lieutenant Kimberly callsign Face Dyson.
Oh, I
became-
thought it was going to be like call sign Viking Snatch or something.
Face snatch.
Kimberly Face Dyson became the first American woman to officially fly a combat mission that day.
Wow. Nice.
We are ready to do anything, Dyson recalled when interviewed almost 30 years later. It was a little nerve-wracking, but in the end, it turned out to be a normal flight, very much the same as we had done in practice. And then it goes into a number of other women that flew missions that day too. But that was the first time
Wow.
officially
pretty
approved.
badass. Yeah. Very
First
cool.
Hornet plane. Yeah.
Kimberly.
Like it. Face. Kimberly Face, or what's her call sign? Dyson.
Kimberly Dyson.
Now
Yeah.
imagine it. I mean, I read some books back in World War One when they knew like they could see the Red Baron, and they're like, the Red Baron's coming after us, scary as all get out, right? Because nobody shot this guy down. Imagine if you have call sign Viking Snatch up in the air, and you're like,
Oh my goodness. Never mind. Is she from Greenland?
Uh,
Where are the Vikings from? I don't even know.
That area.
One of those two countries.
Yeah.
it was pretty funny because a couple of other women flew. Let's say Dyson was not alone.
yeah,
She
Kim
served
Campbell.
with a fellow other 18 pilot, Lieutenant Sharon Pinto Deegan, and Lieutenant
cool.
Junior Grade Joy Trigger, call sign Trigger Dean. And there was a Hawkeye pilot, Lieutenant Lisa Kilpatrick, a Sikorsky SH-3 helicopter pilot, Lieutenant Lynn Fowler. They all flew combat missions on
All
the
the
same
women did
cruise
Very
from the Eisenhower.
in
Yeah.
'94.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was that early. I thought
That was
it
the first
later.
U.S. aircraft carrier to deploy with a gender-integrated crew.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow, in 1994?
Yep.
Yeah, that seems way earlier than I thought in my history. So,
I was
pretty
thinking way late.
oh,
Well, you had the wasps and everything.
Well, sure.
They were flying stuff in World War II. And
they weren't flying.
All that.
Anything. The wasps
weren't
didn't
pilot?
fly. They were just augmenting.
Shoveling aircraft
They
from one.
flew.
They're still
Port to another
flying.
port.
I don't think they flew.
No, they did fly.
100%.
They shuffled aircraft to different other airports. Back
The
and forth.
wasps.
The wasps.
The wasps.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Now,
Fair enough.
combat mission though officially
Well,
recognized.
yeah, right. I mean, we had cargo
94.
pilots and stuff
Sure.
like that. I got that.
Little known fact, Owen Wilson played her in Behind Enemy Lines.
You did.
What are you talking about?
That was a Hornet.
This
And
is
it got
why
shot
Is
down.
that an
That's
accurate
fine.
prediction? Or
And it was Owen
portrayal?
Wilson,
That's true. And he did
also
get
known
shot
as
down.
Face Snatch.
Yeah.
Call sign Face Snatch.
I was wondering how this woman
my
got the
goodness.
call sign Pinto. Do you think she
Yeah.
farts a lot? And like, what's the
Yeah.
thing with Pinto?
Oh no.
She can.
Fart.
She has the endurance of a Pinto.
Oh, well said.
A Ford Pinto.
Well, no. I mean, the Ford Pinto did ruin the Pinto name. That's true.
Pinto might be
That was a good
because
horse. That was an
she's
Indian
good and then she blows up.
horse. Her
Don't-
gas tank catches on fire.
Don't push her buttons. She will blow up. Kim Campbell was the famous one in Iraqi Freedom, the A-10 pilot.
Oh yeah,
That-
yeah.
There's pictures of her A-10 that have just freaking anti-air chunks
That's
missing off
crazy.
it.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Will be interesting
but
if
that
the,
was in 03.
It would be interesting to see if Trump just says, we're not getting rid of the A-10. We're keeping them. You know?
That would be awesome.
Everybody would be happy about that. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, hell, you can fix that thing like a Ford Pinto.
Yeah.
So would that bring Boeing back into the market?
No, it's made by Mitsubishi mostly. Honestly, there's a lot of Mitsubishi parts on it.
I bet. Well, they're our friends now. They're our friends.
That's a badass airplane, though. It still got it.
I like the Growlers, though. Those Hornets and those Growlers are freaking cool.
Yeah, Growlers were always cool.
On and off carrier. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is
very impressive.
Well done again, Eric. Man,
all right.
Step up the game.
Not all.
He wins. Well, you almost won outright. Anna did tie you.
Drop the ball.
Come from behind, too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. With the dirtiest answer, you pulled into a tie. So very well done. Very well done. On that note,
I'm looking up braids tonight.
PH.com.
Ooh.
They beef.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you seen those shorts where it's like a white lady talks in a thick Jamaican accent, and a guy's watching the clip, and he's like, bling, and it's like a little achievement. It's like new kink unlocked.
No.
They're hilarious.
Now you can do it.
New kink. That's good. All right, let's end up this thing. All right, that was a good note to go out on. Thanks, Eric.
Yep.
On behalf of all of us here, I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please like, share, subscribe. Let us know how we did in the comments, and make sure that next week that you are not late for changeover.
Boom.
Friends, thanks for the week, and thanks to everyone listening and watching. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Flex seal all your door jams just in case.
Actually, they should put those in the shelter in place kits.
They should.